Today the objective is to cross the Mozambique Channel. Hello, this is Carlos and I am Linda. We are living in our floating house Mirni Oken. Welcome in our YouTube channel 22 South, where we invite you in our dream for a cycle navigation. Hello everybody! So just to start, I wanted to say this video today is a bit special because some people know that we lost a hard drive during the crossing in the Indian Ocean. So I end up to do a video with what I have, some pictures and our comments. Enjoy it!
The passage from Madagascar to South Africa is a very technical one. The reason is because of the Mozambique Current, which goes in a south direction. If you get caught in the wrong time in the wrong place, could be very dangerous, meaning if you meet that current and southerly winds, which is current against wind, the seas can get very high and the situation could be pretty challenging.
Yes, Carlos, it's a challenging passage, and on top of that we had to leave soon as possible because something was forming. Here. This cyclone was here because we were a bit late in the season and the cyclone arrived a bit earlier than usually. So we had two choices. Or we hide in the land and we let the boat, or we save the boat and leave soon as possible. And of course we choose to save the boat. That's why we left during a beautiful night.
The passage from Nosibe to Ilhas Primeras took us 5 days.
But then a depression came from the south.
That pushed us to find a refuge as soon as possible, and we went into the Ilhas Primeras in Mozambique. We had to do this passage from Madagascar to South Africa in 3 little steps because of the cyclone and because of the constant low pressures coming from the south of South Africa.
Ce qui est incroyable, c'est qu'on avait beau être pris en sandwich entre ce cyclone venant du nord et cette dépression venant du sud, là où on était nous, c'était super calme, un lac. On devait même mettre le moteur. C'est vrai que quand on y pense, si les anges existent vraiment, je pense qu'on leur a donné beaucoup de travail ce jour-là.
And on top of that, we are also taking around 100 liters of water per day into the bilges that they are coming from the shaft seal, which is leaking. It's probably broken and we have to replace it, so that's why it's so urgent for us to take the boat out of the water as soon as possible.
C'est vrai que j'avais oublié ce détail, on prenait de l'eau, comme a dit Carlos, on prenait de l'eau parce qu'il y avait une fuite dans, je sais pas comment on appelle ça en français, mais bon bref, on prenait, il y a de l'eau de la mer qui rentrait et on prenait à peu près 100 litres par jour. Et donc je me souviens pendant mon quart de nuit, j'allais sans arrêt regarder dans les cales pour voir si la pompe fonctionnait, parce que si la pompe fonctionne pas, ça veut dire qu'on prenait l'eau et que l'eau restait dans les cales et que on pouvait couler quoi.
We then started our passage to Bazaruto on a 3 days passage.
In Mozambique we discover again a new beautiful world. We also make new friends, other sailors as crazy as us, who had to stop to wait the good weather window.
After then, we find a weather window to go to Richards Bay, which took us 4 days.
Again, it was a super smooth passage until we arrive.
So our arrival into South Africa was a little bit dramatic. Our trip from Bazaruto was supposed to be like 4 days and we had a massive current with us. The thing is that the winds were supposed to be 15-20 knots, and as soon as we arrived in Richards Bay, and the wind started to be 35-40 knots. I made a little mistake making a jibe, and then our head sail got tangled at the top.
Carlos went in the front to try to unroll the genoa while I was trying to deal with the lines, but we couldn't make it.
This was definitely one of our most challenging passages, dealing with all these currents and dealing with all these low pressures, not mentioning also a cyclone. But we were lucky because we were about to arrive, and as soon as we were inside the bay, we were protected from the wind, and then everything was fine.
Soon as we arrived, we could finally put Mirni out of the water. This time it was not only for the anti-fouling, so I feel like to bring a member of our family in the hospital. Carlos has a lot of work to do in the boat, while I had a lot of editing to do. We did that for a good 10 days and then we decided to have a little rest. So we rent a car and took the direction of a safari.
So the safari, it was a total different experience that we have done until the moment, at least for me. We rented a car and then we drove a couple of hours into the Shulele game park. Once there, we were able to drive around the park as we wished.
It was an amazing experience because of course there are beautiful animals, but in the same time when you are in this little car, because we rent the cheapest car that we could find, so in French we call that yogurt pot, because it's a car that you can feel very light and you can break it easily. And when you see that this animal, this rhinoceros on your way is looking at you, we were looking at him and we were in his territory. So you're like, okay, we keep the feet on the accelerator just in case we have to run away.
Special thanks to our patrons, and for those ones who want to contribute to our film production, follow the link in the description below, together with our PayPal for one-time contributions. Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching. Next week we will come back in normal video with a new hard drive. So see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for watching, guys, and again next week, wanted to contribute to our film production. Special thank you as usual. No, 1, 2, 3. Special thank you as always to our one, two, three. Special thanks to our patrons, and if some to our patrons, you guys make our. You are laughing. I can see you laughing. No. Now in this moment, okay. Special thank you to our patrons. Special thanks to our patrons. Thank you so much to our patrons. You have to go now. I cannot finish. I have to finish this.